What up? It's your boy T-Burn Reaction. Today is Wrestling Wednesday, so I'm gonna kick things off. First time ever kicking things off with, well, not really, informative video right here as well too. Usually I've been like hopping on these as well too, mainly because of shout out to Kicking the Raw to be putting me on some videos to check out though. And I thought it was an interesting one to check out right here. So it's called from Tap Out Corner: 33 words that WWE are not allowed to say. Now, I have heard a lot of times that wrestlers are not allowed, like certain superstars not allowed to say certain wrestling terms in there though as well too. One of them is I think is being you can't like. Facing heels and tweeners, and you can't mention neither of the three though. Like more people that mentioning was actually heard missing is MLW and AEW. They don't exactly mention it, but they have the heel and face and heel tunnels well too. And although Brandon Bryan said he came out the bad guy tunnel, so he didn't want to say face and heel. But I heard you can't say stuff like that. They can't say wrestlers, they can't say belts, they gotta say titles like that. Because if you saw on the episode with the one time the little back and forth with Miz and Cody Rhodes and everything, he was kept correcting and all. Miz kept correcting Cody Rhodes and all that. So yeah. So other than that, we'll check out the 33 words that WWE wrestlers are not allowed to say. Let's get it.
But WWE has a list of words that wrestlers and other talent are not allowed to say. The list has been leaked, allowing us to see which words are banned and the reasons why. First on the list is wrestling and wrestlers.
Okay.
This sounds completely crazy. I mean, the company's initials literally stand for World Wrestling Entertainment. However, these two words have infamously been banned in WWE for years. The reason is so that WWE can broaden its appeal. The feeling is that if WWE doesn't call itself wrestling, then people who aren't wrestling fans will check it out. Instead of wrestling, WWE is called what it does, sports entertainment, or even just entertainment. Likewise, WWE calls its wrestlers superstars. Yep. This is also to try to appeal to non-wrestling fans, but it's also done to make the wrestlers seem larger than life. To be fair, it makes sense. Which sounds more prestigious? I'm a wrestler or I'm a superstar?
Right.
Two more recently banned words in WWE are belt and strap, referring to the championships that superstars, fight for. Similar to why wrestler is banned, it's believed that belt and strap are too plain and ordinary and doesn't make the championships sound special enough. Instead of saying belt, wrestlers and other talent are supposed to refer to them as championships or titles.
Yeah.
Not only is intentional bleeding in WWE not allowed, but just the word blood is also banned. So is the word choke, headshot, trauma, spinal injuries, violence, violent, curb stop, strangle, kill, and murder. All these words are on the banned list because they are too violent.
Whoa!
Oh shoot, I can't say that. It seems this is less about upsetting fans and more about upsetting sponsors and other business partners.
Wow.
In fact, Daniel Bryan infamously got fired for choking at ring announcers.
Yeah, finally. Oh man, finally a platform we had to put that story in there. I've been wondering, I hate having to explain the story and then have folks not know what's going on. But yes, somebody finally put that story in. That was the reason. So they're gonna say it, but if they don't say it, that's the reason why he didn't stay in Nexus too long because of that situation, and why he didn't call him back as being part of Team WWE. He had to serve some suspension or some shit like that.
And infamously got fired for choking a ring announcer because it made WWE sponsors upset. To avoid losing sponsorships and brand deals, WWE has all these words banned, which is unfortunate for Seth Rollins, Kane, and The Undertaker. This one is a little ironic, but diva is a banned word in WWE. This used to be what the company referred to its female wrestlers as. Men were superstars, women were divas. However, since the Divas Revolution in the mid-2010s, WWE has started referring to all of its wrestlers, male and female, as superstars. The reason WWE doesn't use diva anymore is to help make the women's division more focused on wrestling rather than looks and beauty. Additionally, the term diva doesn't exactly have the most positive meaning. It's worth mentioning that anti-diva is also a no-no word. This was the nickname Paige used, and it's banned for the exact same reason diva is banned. Several other banned words are kayfabe, house, push, being over, babyface, heel, and job/jobber. The reason why these words are forbidden is that they are mainly insider terms. If these words were used on TV, then WWE would essentially be breaking the fourth wall. Calling a good guy wrestler a babyface would be similar to if someone in a movie referred to the main character as the protagonist. It wouldn't make any sense. This one is bizarre, but Mofos is also banned. I mean, WWE is a PG show, so I guess it makes sense.
That makes sense in a way.
Wouldn't want to hear references to adult.
I guess that kind of makes sense. You don't want to reference the the actual what it stands for.
Language. The next word on the banned list isn't actually a word, but an abbreviation, DQ. Of course, this is a short way of saying disqualification. There isn't a clear reason why DQ isn't allowed to be said, but perhaps it's to avoid having fans think about the restaurant chain, Dairy Queen. More words that wrestlers and WWE talent are not allowed to say are victim and wife beater. Considering the other words on this list, it makes sense why
Well, I don't know why somebody was... why would anyone say that in the first place? Victim, maybe, but wife beater, why they wouldn't say that anyway?
WWE would also ban these words too. Wife beater is pretty obvious, but victim isn't as clear. The reason for not saying victim is that it could make people think of things like domestic violence and other horrible crimes. Especially with the ongoing war in Ukraine, it begins to make sense why WWE banned the word victim. Speaking of the war, another word got banned because of it. Currently, commentators and other on-screen personnel can't say the word attack. Since Russia attacked Ukraine, WWE wants to avoid accidentally making similarities to the war, and therefore has banned the word attack for the time being. Another word, or technically an abbreviation, that isn't too surprising to see on this list is WWF.
Of course.
It seems like it would be a no-brainer. After all, WWE's been called WWE for over 20 years now. However, there are some people who do insist on calling it WWF, mainly when talking about the company during that era. To prevent that from happening during their shows, WWE decided to get the WWF out. Now, the next two words on WWE's banned list are kind of weird. The words are card and non-title. Card is understandable. As previously mentioned, WWE wants to distance itself from wrestling, so referring to a match lineup as the card doesn't make sense.
True.
Card is also a term that MMA uses, and since WWE wants to brand itself as entertainment, it makes sense to avoid using terms associated with sports. However, non-title is kind of odd. The term is a recent addition to the banned list. Instead of saying a non-title match, WWE refers to matches where a champion is fighting both out their title on the line as championship contenders matches.
Wow, so that's why they didn't call them that. Wow.
Again, the reason is to use fewer wrestling and sports-related terms and focus on entertainment. Personally, a championship contenders match just doesn't make any sense. Despite these words being banned, wrestlers have sometimes said them on TV. To see those instances, watch the video on screen.
But yeah, or sometimes the wrestlers said banned words on TV. You know what? Okay. So yeah, I want to watch it. Nah, but interesting though that some as obvious as I mentioned, like I said, the face hill tweener thing, the kayfabe, of course, you know, most I understand, but someone was like, but somewhat understandable, I guess. So this was interesting. I will say that though. I think I shared this on my groups though. So other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.